Alright, hey comrades. Here is going to be a really quick, for now, installation video for the CQC Crisp Vector Kit. And here's the XCC and the CQC are going to be pretty much the same. I still don't have a paralight test and show, but it should be the same as the XDC. So here's about how far you should have broken down your CQC, taken off your handguard, your barrel, your tank stock, whatever you had on there. Your pistol grip off, Magwell off, and that's about it. You don't have to take this off, you don't have to take any of that off. Excuse me. Okay. All you will really need are 3 Allen keys. A 4mm, a 3mm, and the 2.5mm. These two you should be really familiar with the CQC, as that's kind of what you need in order to take it down this far anyway. Save all your little bolts, but you can get rid of all the furniture, and let's go ahead and get started. Here's how the kit comes with your 4 pieces and a little bag of goodies. So let's take that apart, make sure we have everything according to my awesome infographic here. Okay, feed neck, check. Butt plate, check. Don't worry about that for now. The ambi release, check. Spring, check. I'm going to stop saying check. Your mag catch. Okay, we have everything. Let's get started. I'll go ahead and start with the pre-assembly. We'll go with the butt plate first. Match up the holes like so. The shorter piece goes on top. That would be your M5 by 35. Here's where you'll need the 4mm Allen keys. Oh, wait. Crap. Little tip. Go ahead and install one of your M5 bolts onto the tip of your M5 by 35 bolt, or M5 nuts on the bolt, and then press that into the stock like so. And that'll be a lot easier than trying to drop that nut in there, because it's a pretty tight fit. Okay, so we push this through here, push that through here, and tighten it up with our M4 Allen key. Now this is just keeping the butt plate on so it doesn't have to be super tight. Okay, same thing. Put one of your M5 nuts into the hole on the bottom piece of the stock. Take your M5 by 45, that's the longer one for the bottom. Push that through. And tighten it up. Okay, last piece for the stock. Take your last M5 nut, put it on the side right here, press that in. Take your M5 by 30 bolt and put that through here. This one might be a tight fit. So, here's you're going to need the 3mm Allen key for this one. I have no idea why. That's just the way that my supplier, McMaster Car, decided to make their bolts. It's actually a good thing that this is a little tighter, because the stock you don't want wiggling around too much. Yeah, I do that a lot. Okay, so for the stock, you want to just make sure that your threads are catching. You don't really want to tighten this up right now. So yeah, the thread's caught in that. Okay, that's the stock assembled, not installed. We'll put that off to the side. And let's see, next. This already comes pre-assembled. I went ahead and did the heat inserts and tested them for fit. So that should match up just nice. So you don't have to worry about that. That's already pre-assembled. Now we just have to install that later. Here's the pistol grip. There's nothing that needs to be installed on it. This, I would say, the roll pin will come later, and that'll be optional. Like, you don't have to have it, but it kind of helps if you want to keep everything together. One thing that might make your life easier is to take your pistol grip screw or bolt from the M17 and kind of slide that in there to get it in the hole. Like so. That'll make things a little bit easier when we go to assemble that. So we'll set that off to the side. Okay, the Magwell. This is the thing that is going to take the most assembly. We'll go ahead and start with the mag release, or at least the right-handed mag release. Just set that in there. It only fits really one way. And then take your M3 by 40 millimeter nut bolt. God damn. Slide that into the hole on the top. And these were supposed to fit a little bit tighter, but I think I ordered the wrong size. So as long as it fits in there and give it a little love tap, you're good. I don't think it'll thread. I will fix that later. So, but all that really needs to do is stay in there. Next we take our mag catch. That's the bluish, blackish nylon piece. By the way, that is something I'm going to have to figure out, because nylon, it stains, but it doesn't always stain consistently. Like, this was supposed to be black stain, so in some of the places it did actually get black. The other places are blue. I apologize for that. You can paint it over, but for now it's just kind of a strange color. Oh wait, so we have to pre-assemble this by putting the M4 nut, only one of those in the bag, right into that little hole right there. Then place that onto the right side of the Magwell. It only fits in one way. Now pre-assemble your ambi release by taking your M4 by 35 bolt, sliding your spacer onto that. This is made with polycarbonate, by the way. It's going to be really difficult to break, so when we get to tightening, don't worry about it. Then slide your, oh wait, my bad. Slide your bolt through the ambi release, pull that through, then put your spacer on. Make sure that's pulled all the way through. Then take your spring, drop it into the left side of the Magwell, like so. Put this bolt through here, and we're going to catch on with the 2.5 millimeter wrench this nut on the mag catch. Bam, it's on there. Now this you want nice and tight, and that's what that spacer is going to be there for, is to prevent you from getting it too tight. Ooh, that's a little too tight. Spacer failed. Okay. So, you just want to make sure that that presses in, that presses in. Let's test the Magwell. We're good. Both sides work. Okay, so Magwell assembled. Now let's get to installing. We'll go ahead and go front to back. Oh, let's go back to rear. Okay, we'll start with the tank. Here is a Milsig 10 cubic inch tank with a Gorilla G2 or 3 reg. You don't actually have to screw that in, but whatever. Oh, here's a tip. Here's what I would recommend doing, is taking a little bit of electrical tape where the stock's going to fit. That's about maybe half an inch, 3 1/4 up, and give it a wrap or two. And what this is going to do is prevent the stock from sliding to and fro or pivoting. Now this should be a relatively tight fit, but not too tight. You may have to undo this a little, and if it is too tight, try taking off some of the tape, because you definitely do not want this part right here to crack. So yeah, that's a little too much tape. Okay, let's try that again. Much easier. Now get it relatively lined up, since we don't really know where it's going to be, and it'll always be able to be adjusted. Just tighten that up to the tank right there. If you start to hear cracking and popping, you're probably too tight. Not tight enough. You don't want it to slide, but you don't want it to start breaking anything. There we go. Boom, stock installed. Now let's go back to the pistol grip. A little tip, I recommend putting your Allen key into the bolt hole and holding that in there so that your bolt doesn't fall out. Go ahead and install your ball and spring for the safety selector switch, and then slide it on, trying to get that bolt into the hole. Got it. Now just tighten that down. Alright, that's good. So far so good. Next is the Magwell. Make sure that bolt's still in there for the mag release. Go ahead and take your feed neck and ball retention system and slide that into your what'd you call that? Chamber? Okay. Slide on your Magwell. This is kind of flexible, by the way, but do not too much, because this is probably one of the most breakable points on the kit. Once it's installed though, you won't really have to worry about it. So bend that down, slide that into there, match up your holes right there, put in your pins. Probably do the rear one first since it has a little bit bigger hole. Done. And done. Now if you want to use the spacers that Milsig has, go ahead, if that's your forte. Personally, I don't really see the need for them. Put in your other bolts. Magwell installed. That was easy. Okay, and handguard. Just like any Milsig handguard, just have to slide it on, match up the threads to the holes. It might help to loosen these steel brackets a little bit first before doing the installation, but since this was a tester kit, I know that they'll fit just fine. Make a liar out of me. Yet. There you go. That is the Vector kit installed. Do a quick test. That works. And by release works. Now I'll talk about some of the optional things. Now, if you want to absolutely secure this pistol grip to this, it makes it a little bit difficult to disassemble if you want to take everything apart, but it helps if you want to strengthen it a little bit more. Prevent this from catching, like let's say you want to carry it with this. All you need to do is heat up this rolling pin and then slide it in there. I'm not going to do that because this is someone else's kit, but that's all you have to do. Take needle nose pliers and heat it up with that. Drop it in there, or you can even put it right there and take a soldering iron and push it through, and that's all you got to do. Okay, other optional things. Here is a Tipex True Feed Magwell or magazine. This one's actually already been modified to use it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of how that's done. Just take a Dremel with a high-speed cutting bit and That's all there is to it. You could also use a file or a razor knife or a hobby knife. May take you a little bit longer to do that though. As for the distance, I'm going to say it's 39.5 millimeters from the top. So if you have calipers, like so, yeah, pretty damn good. So there you go, 39.5 millimeters from the top of the magwell is where you want the top of your notch. How far you go down is entirely up to you, but I'm going to say at least 5 millimeters. Now, modifying the Gen 2 and Gen 1 Zeta mags is even easier. This side actually doesn't need to be modded whatsoever if you have the side that looks like this. The side that will have to be modded is these notch sides, or these little catches. And that's really easy. All you have to do is take a hobby knife. You can also use a Dremel, but a hobby knife in this case is easier. And just cut that knob off, or tab off. That's it. All you got to do. I actually didn't even have to do on this side, but this side was already done. So, boom. And now this will feed. Oh, it already did. This is a Gen 2 Zeta mag. Or is it Gen 1? Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. So there you go. Any questions? I will make a better video. I just wanted to get this out there for people that are already dropping their kits. And then the HCS version, the hybrid combat, or hybrid whatever stock, collapsible, will need a little bit more instruction. And I didn't actually have one available to me, but I do have one shipping now, so once I get that, I will put up the HCS video. I'll try to kind of, I don't even have an HCS stock to show you printed, but all you're really going to do is take a soldering iron is the most helpful thing, and on your actual stock, take the soldering iron to it, get those pins nice and hot, and then remove them with either the soldering iron or with an Allen key that's jammed up in the roll pin. And then take your rods out, put them into the Vector HCS stock, and then reinstall the pins. You can use the heating thing as well. But again, I'll get that out with a much better assembly video in a few days when that stock arrives. Any questions, hit me up on Facebook, email, even the website, and good luck, guys. Thanks again for all your orders, and let's keep this thing going. Laters.